Hey gamers, Don here from Need to Know, and today I'm taking a quick look at Pocket Academy. Now, Need to Know is trying something a little different in terms of video structure. We're still trying to give you what you need to know about video games, but we're going to do it in a shorter span of time. I mean, people's attention spans aren't too great. So, let me know what you think at the end of the video. I'll be answering 5 important questions. Who is this by? How much does it cost and what system is it on? What game is it most like? What can you expect in terms of gameplay? And is it worth picking up now or should you wait for a sale? So, let's take a look. Pocket Academy is developed by Kairosoft. Now, they're a video game developer that found their success on the iOS and Android platforms. They developed games like Game Dev Story, Dungeon Village, Ninja Village, Pocket Academy, of course, Kingdom Adventures, Pool Slide Story, which I've covered on this channel, Hot Spring Story, Venture Towns, Cafeteria Mechanica, Pocket Clothier, you get the idea. They do tycoon-style games in which you start from rags and build into riches. Pocket Academy is available on Nintendo Switch, the PlayStation 4, which is where I am currently showing you gameplay from, and the mobile devices, Android and iOS. Now, if you're playing it on your phone, it's going to cost you $5.49 USD or your regional equivalent. If you are playing it on a console, then it's going to cost you a bit more at $13.99 USD or your regional equivalent. No, I'm not a game developer. I couldn't tell you why the price is a little more than double when it's going over to console, but I will say that it works great on any system. The only difference being that if you wanted to get achievements or trophies, then you'd play it on a console. Personally, I think that you do just fine playing it on your phone, but if you don't have an up-to-date phone, I suppose getting it on the Switch makes sense as well. Pocket Academy plays most like, and this can be argued for all of the Kairosoft games, one of the tycoon games. Roller Coaster Tycoon, for example, minus the roller coaster building. With the end goal, of course, being to make a profit. Placing different buildings down allows your students to build their different skills, and placing decorations as far as trees and rocks and water raises the facility's appeal so that students will use them more frequently. In terms of gameplay, expect to spend a lot of time monitoring stats. Now, Pocket Academy was not my favorite in terms of Kairosoft games, and I've played a lot of them, simply for the fact that it was very slow-paced in comparison to their other titles. I'll again use Pool Slide Story because I've featured it, and I will be featuring more Kairosoft games on this channel, but there's nothing to do in your downtime. Like in Pool Slide Story, you were constantly being barraged by guests who wanted you to build specific pools or asking for specific food. In this case, you really just wait for time to pass, and time passes rather slowly. You can build, but I found that money was a larger struggle in this game than other ones. And on that note, I will give a few tips. Make sure you are always trying the school challenges because that makes it so that you can charge more for tuition. Make sure you have enough teachers. I know this seems like it should be obvious, but even if you don't have students, if you have classrooms, make sure there's a teacher per classroom, otherwise you won't be getting more students. Yes, teachers are expensive to pay their salaries, but it's the only way to get more students. More students means more money. Another thing to do in your downtime is to use your academic points, which you can see under my cache at the top right, to hold special classes. Now, students have different stats for social studies, humanities, math, etc., and they'll use that knowledge in order to create more points for you, but also at the end of their 3 terms to actually graduate and get into a job. There's a final graduation ceremony held at the end of 3 years that will decide what your pass-fail rate is, and that will affect how many more transfer students will come into your school. So it's just this cycle of trying to bring in more students, trying to make sure that the students you have at the school are successful, and so on and so forth. Should you wait for a sale? I believe so, yes. Pocket Academy was not one of my favorite titles by Kairosoft. If you were looking for something to play on a console right now, then I would recommend Cafeteria Nipponica or Pool Slide Story, like I keep mentioning, and I will keep mentioning. That was one of the better ones I've played. I do love Kairosoft games, and I will continue to give them my money, but I couldn't really recommend this one at full price for what you're getting. Now, of course, all of their titles are available on your phone, so if you have a smartphone, then you should check them out on your App Store. I hope you found this quick look useful, gamers. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. Make sure you like and comment. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to Need to Know for more content.